So we are getting ready for family share night. We're having some friends over, and we only actually have about 7 minutes because we had taekwondo. Like, what else do we do with our life? We had taekwondo, and the kids and I had to make a couple stops, and we're just getting home. So we're putting on a couple things, and I'm just going to step over to the side, and I'll be right back. So we got a couple things cooking in the kitchen. The first thing I'm doing are some farm-rich meatballs, and I'm actually doing this in a barbecue sauce. So 2 things of barbecue sauce and a little bit of brown sugar. Nothing else I'm going to put in this. And the only reason I'm cooking it on the stove, because I do have my crock pot going and it's on high. But I wanted to make sure that the meatballs were cooked through because they were a little bit frozen earlier. I did take them out before we left. And so what I wanted to do was get them nice and piping hot before I put them in the hot crock pot. So I have my crock pot turned up to high. The next thing I want to show you, this is like amazing. This is called ranch rings. So of course I had coupons for the Nathan's onion rings and french fries. And so I'm doing the very same thing that I did with the french fries. I just sprayed these rings with a little bit of the canola cooking spray. And then I dumped in 2 packets of the buttermilk ranch dressing, the dry mix, and this is going in a 450-degree oven for about 15 minutes. The kids are working on, Jackson's getting out the cups and plates, and Alana's going to put on a fresh pot of coffee. And then we have a couple other things with coupons. I got these buy one get one free. I think we paid 15 cents for these, and they are still on sale. So if you have a Harris Teeter, go buy it, because there's a 75 cents off coupon that will double to $1.50, and this item will be about 15 cents. This one is about $1.50. I think it's 2 for 5. No, they're 4 for 10, so $2.50, and then there's $1 off. So get your snacks. So anyway, we're having a couple friends over to dinner tonight, and just to hang out and play games. I think Alana's going to go out and grab a couple games out of the garage. And so I'm just spraying this a little bit more because I do want to make sure that all of that ranch, dry ranch, that's going to go in the living room on the buffet, and the paper plates and the paper towels. So one of the things you want to do is make sure you spray them really well, or your onion rings, and then see how that coating, that's coated with all of, and I think I paid probably about 60-70 cents for each of these, and I want to make sure they're nice and evenly coated. And we don't know if it's gonna be any leftovers, but so I'm actually gonna just lay these out. I have a foil lined baking sheet. I'm doing 2 baking sheets just so they all can cook evenly. And remember, I sprayed them with the canola oil, and I'm cooking them on a high heat. It calls for 425, but I'm actually going to do them on 450. So I've done these vlogs before, kind of when I'm talking a little bit about just having people in your home. When I got home from work this afternoon, I think the kids and I took about 45 minutes, and we did just what's called a quick clean. We made sure the bathroom was down in the buffet, in the bottom of the buffet. And we wanted to make sure that everybody felt homely. Just wanted to make sure that the house was clean, so we made sure to vacuum. We put down some Arm & Hammer vacuum carpet cleaner and vacuumed that all up. And then we made sure that we had all the dishes out of the sink, which the kids, you know, their chores, they do dishes for chores. Yes, lovely. That's okay. You can just dump it out. So I had some old coffee that I made late last night, and I really don't want to serve old coffee to guests. And I was going to actually put it in the fridge for some iced coffee, but we don't have a jug, so we're just going to simply pour it out, and it'll be okay. I got that coffee on a coupon. Not that we try to be wasteful. I just don't have a jug that I can keep it in. So that might be something that you think about. If you have coffee that you haven't used, you made a fresh pot, and you want to keep it for iced coffee, then if you have an old jug, when it gets cool, after you turn your pot off. So these ranch wings, really, I use the buttermilk ranch packets, and I'm actually just laying them out single layer because I want them to be nice and crispy. They are going to go on the bottom rack for 15 minutes at 450 degrees. Hey, Bubba, do we have another tray.
Pan.
And I spray them, so it's going to help that coating stick a little bit better.
On the small pan?
Yeah, I'll take the small pan. And I don't want to work them too much because onion rings will shed their skins. And I don't want the skins to shed. I really would like to have the onion ring. So now I'm just lining the plates because it just makes easy cleanup. It just makes for easier cleanup. Okay. It should not be difficult. I'll show you something I got at the Goodwill today. Of course, I've been on a Goodwill thrift spin, no spin, but I was looking for a couple things. Tomorrow is bedrooms or master bedrooms in the 2017 Home Organization Challenge that I'm doing with a bowl full of lemons. Now, I have not been doing the challenge regularly these last couple of weeks simply because we have just been so busy. And then Mom has been sick. Started the 27 item purge where I'm purging 27 items. And I do want to make... Now, because my guests should be here by now, I am not going to wash... I'm not going to put this in my sink, but I'm going to put it in my laundry room to wash later. Third tray. That's the third tray. The timer is on. I'm going to put this one on just in case I didn't get that other one right. So my meatballs are now... they should be nice and at least warm through in the middle. And what I just used in here was I used 2 bottles of regular barbecue sauce, just original barbecue sauce. Normally I would use like a spicy honey, but they didn't have that at the store that I stopped at. So what I did was I just put a little bit of brown sugar in here. Normally you can add in a whole jar of jelly or a jam or a preserve, and that's going to give it a little bit more of a sweet flavor. So this is actually done from heating. And what I'm going to do, let me show you this. I got these several years ago. These are little fondue forks. They're little fondue forks, and everybody will get their own little fondue fork where they can just kind of stick it in and get their own little meatballs. That way you don't have cross-contamination or, you know, people with their double dipping of the spoon situation on the fork. And they're all color-coded, the ones who do have little color buttons on them still. So everybody will know whose is whose. And I'm going to wash these off really quickly, and I'll sit them beside the crock pot. So my crock pot is on high, and it is warm. So I'm just going to let this cook for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to dump in. So we just ask everybody to bring something to pass around if they wanted to. They didn't have to, because of course this is just a free night just to play games and not to be doing the most. But so I'm going to come over here, and now I'm going to work on my coffee station. So I've got my coffee station out. This is the crock pot that I did the honey garlic teriyaki chicken in last night. And so I've got my coffee going, and I am just going to simply put out some things that people might like to accompany their coffee. This is Swiss Mocha Cafe. If you want to do like a mocha coffee, you can do 1 cup of coffee and then a spoon or 2 of this into your coffee to have like a cafe mocha. I also have just this jar of, I've got the Dunkin' Hines Let It Shine, my cup says Let It Shine. I've got the Dunkin' Donuts caramel creamers here. I'm going to put out probably some hot chocolate for the kids. I'll have to make a separate station for that, but I'll put that out for the kids. And then just a couple of mugs. It is really cool outside, and so I want to make sure that we have, you know, I do have a couple of coffee drinkers that will be here, so I like to put out what I can, because I do have a couple coffee drinkers, and I do have tea, and normally I would probably do a coffee and a tea station, but I'm not going to do both tonight. I'm simply just going to do the coffee station, and I'll leave the hot chocolate out. Okay, that's fine. Take that bag also into Mama's room, and I think we're gonna have enough stuff. So I am a drinker of coffee, so I pretty much keep these mugs all washed out on the regular because I drink coffee quite a bit. Let's see what else I have. That's going over there. This is going right here. I'm going to grab some creamer out of the fridge. And I've got salted caramel creamer here that we had. And I have just some sugar-free for me. And I didn't have sugar-free creamer this morning, so I allow myself 1 tablespoon of this on Weight Watchers. So I'm just going to give that a quick shake up. And now that's done. Hey, Bubba, will you grab me some waters? So for your non-coffee drinkers, I do have water. And I also have just regular sugar. I normally would put this in kind of a pretty dish or something, but I'm kind of pressed for time tonight. So I will leave that there unless it bothers me too much. And then I'll change it. And I also have some waters. Whatever you can, just put a couple out. In case you have people who don't drink coffee, always have an alternative to offer. And I do keep this sugar crystals, there's pure cane sugar crystals that I can have on Weight Watchers. I think it's like 1 point or it's 0 points on my counter for up to 9 teaspoons of this. But I usually do just 1 or 2. But I'm not going to put this out because I know where it is if I need it. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good.
So anywho, our guests are getting here and we're just trying to really finish up everything. So maybe when they get here, we'll just come back really quickly and let you see what we're doing tonight.